Okay, so welcome guys to another episode of Kickstart with Rohan. And for this episode, as our guest, we have one of my school friend. Please welcome Mr. Souvik Ganguly. Welcome,
Hello,
Souvik,
everyone.
to my show. Thanks for giving us time. I hope we will
Oh,
have
the pleasure was mine, absolutely.
I hope we will have a wonderful session. Just giving an introduction to Souvik. He has completed his graduation as a BTech in CSE, and presently he is working as an assistant system engineer for Tata Consultancy Services. So this episode is also going to be on a computer science background. So I previously have done an episode 2, but this is more elaborately we can discuss the things. So once again, welcome Shovik to the show, and just to begin the chat with, can you give a brief idea of your job profile of what you do as an assistant system engineer?
Well, the job profile is quite varied. You see, I do a lot of stuff like development is always there, and by development, do not consider it like developing the next Facebook or the next Twitter. On a very basic level, you have to be good, and they expect you to be good on a very basic level, and they give you little modules to develop. And also there are other departmental tasks that you need to do, like office oriented tasks that you need to do. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, Shovik, you did as a completed your graduation as a CSC in field only, and you're working in this particular field. So, how much did your BTech knowledge or curriculum knowledge is applicable for your particular this job profile? Are you
Well,
using
this is
it?
a very popular question, I guess, and many of the students will be wondering that why are they studying so much, so many
Yeah.
subjects,
All
and
those 4 years, thesis, practicals, projects, assignments. So, what to use them? How to use
yeah,
them?
you know what's the most important thing in studying all those subjects and everything that you study? The single most important factor is all those subjects teach you patience, nothing else, because most of the things that you will study will not be of use in your job and nothing. They just teach you patience, they just teach you how to deal with stuff, nothing else. The things that you will need in job is your like technical expertise in one or two programming language, and how well you can adapt to situations. That's it.
Okay, so and as you mentioned, and I really appreciate this your words because the patience is what the most of the students lags in. Because after the entire all those 4 years, that's the most thing that one the student lacks of. And you
Yeah.
mentioned about that programming. So coming to that programming part, there in I guess in your curriculum you have might undergone 2 to 3 programming languages C, C++, Java. So when you joined your job, how does this particular this programming languages, or can you name some of the programming languages which you use in your this particular job, or else what the recent programming languages you are learning in order to cope up with it?
Okay, so before I answer this question, I would like to share a funny incident. The first day I was scheduled to meet my manager for the project. I needed to be allocated to a project after my ILP. ILP is that initial training session. Okay,
Okay.
so I had a chat with her. She's a lady, by the way. So I had a chat with her, and she asked me that, "What are your strong points?" I said Java, communication, and all that stuff. And she asked me, "What are your weaknesses?" I said, "Well, I'm not that good in Oracle database." The next day, I was assigned to a team that works mainly on Oracle. So yeah. So if you have any proficiency in Java, don't expect that you will get to work in Java. If you have any proficiency in Oracle, don't expect that you will get to work in Oracle or your database. It can be anything. Anything can happen after you join, right? So the point is, whichever programming language you learn it in depth, so that you get a general concept of how languages work. Languages will work in the same way, be it database, be it Java, be it C++, Python, just the syntax differs, right? And some features are added on in every newer one, the newer languages that come up every day.
Okay.
So you have to get the basic idea, and just don't think that if you're good in Java, you will make a career out of Java. It's not that easy. You'll have to pave your way through. Uh, so anything can happen. Be prepared for that.
Okay, and this question generally will be a personal one, because I am also now pursuing my MTech in a field where languages play a role. Okay, especially Python.
Yeah.
So, how does this language is coming up? This Python.
Look, this Python is a really powerful tool. Okay, like you can do loads of stuff with Python, right from CS, and you can do, I guess, some cloud stuff with Python. I'm not that well versed in Python. I will be very honest. And I know I'm a CS guy, but yeah, I'm not that well versed in Python. But yeah, Python is actually good, and there are so many things coming up that I don't even know much of that stuff, like Ruby on Rails and other stuff. Hadoop is a very good thing that works on data, I guess. And so I don't know what will be of use, particularly of use for your automotive your section, but there are so many languages coming up, and Python is definitely a very powerful tool, to be very honest. It's very powerful,
Okay, okay,
and
okay.
it's especially good for automations, I've heard.
Yeah, and that's why, because for our things in all kinds of automotive electronics, especially in the application of the artificial intelligence in automotive electronics, the integration part, Python plays a most important role. Okay,
Yeah,
so there
yeah.
are many things coming up here. So that's why I asked.
Okay.
Now the thing is, now just shifting a bit from the general questions. This corona
Yep.
pandemic has made us locked in our rooms. So
Yep.
the
It's tough time.
concept of work from home has evolved, and I want to know how
I
you
can
are
see
dealing
that
with
coming. I can see that coming. Yep.
it. How you are dealing with
Yeah.
it?
Work from home is tough. It's really, really tough. And I mean, it's tough for me. I don't know about other guys, other companies, but it's really tough for me. It's demanding actually, and I think the situation overall is demanding now. So I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's really tough. See, the fact is, when you're in office, you work for 9 or 10 straight hours. You get out, you forget office, right? You get out, you chat with friends, you travel, you come back home, you take some food, you sleep, and the next day you again start. But what's happening in this work from home scenario is that you're living in that office scenario. So
Even you are
it's
not in the
kind of,
office, but you are in office.
yeah, you're in office and you're living in that office scenario.
Yeah.
You get calls every 1 or 2 minutes from your lead, from your teammates, to clarify things. Then you need to call too to clarify things, right? So it's a both way process, and that stuff. So it's calls, it's codes, it's paperwork, it's manual work, it's so many things. It's such a mess, but it's good mess.
I would say.
At least pays your bills, dude. Yep.
Okay, Shovik, what are your views on doing higher education, particularly in this CS field? Because it's a
Look,
very
I yeah, yeah.
developing field as compared to other one. How do you see this one?
Look, I think education is very important. Never mind higher education. So, whatever you are studying, study good. Like if a class 10 guy is watching me, dude, the primary focus should be your ICSE. If a class 12 guy is watching me, the primary focus should be your 12th, right? Like I messed up my 12th very badly. I will not even share my scores, to be very honest. I'm embarrassed actually. So yeah, I messed up my 12th very badly, and that taught me a lessons that whatever you're studying, you'll have to study well. And why I'm saying that is I have guys from Jadavpur University, MTech, who work alongside me. So I will not say higher education doesn't matter. Higher education does matter, but how it matters that it boosts your overall knowledge. So if you can gather that knowledge in some other way, I would say maybe you need not do a higher education. But again, I would say if you want to go the conventional way, higher education is very, very good. And to be very honest, I'm planning to do one in near
MTech or
future.
MBA?
That's a secret. That's a secret to no, that was a joke. That's a because I am not decided yet, because I love Java actually. I'm very
Okay.
fond of Java, but
Okay.
I have been working on Oracle for the past 8 months or 9 months, so I'm really fed up with codes. So that makes me think that, dude, maybe MBA is the next thing. But then again, Java calls me and says, "Dude, how can you leave me?" So I am a bit confused whether MTech or MBA. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, Shovik, I think you got this opportunity from your college itself and
No, 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 no,
off
no.
campus.
It was not even an off campus. It was, as you guys might know, it was an all India exam
Okay, okay.
that we
Just
had.
then you just shared your experience. What was the process?
The process was pretty simple. You see, there were, I don't remember, one round of, that computer, you go on an exam center and you appear for the exam. The next round was interview, and the next round was celebration.
Just give a share your experience for the interview because that's the main thing, and the main person mess up over there. Student mess up over there.
Yeah, like, yeah, it's a very genuine point. The interview can give you nightmares,
Yeah.
but I would share a bit of something. Like, I was trying to get a job from, I would say, 2018 August or September, because our campusing had already started by then. And I was climbing the ladders, and sometimes I was climbing down the snakes, snakes and ladders. The game was going on. And finally, I got a call from Wipro to appear for the interview, and it was my first big interview in like these 4 months. Okay,
Okay.
like from 2018 August to September till December, and that was like, I was like really nervous, but I also tried to get some fun out of that interview. Like, whenever I appeared for the interview panel, the person asked me that, had you lunch? I said yes. Then he said, stomach full or less? I said, stomach full. He said, you should have taken less. I said, no, I am. You can see my bills, right? I need that. So it was a fun thing. So always keep that smile on your face, so that the interview reflects your feelings, you see, and it will happen. Trust me, the interviewer will reflect your feeling. Like, if you're scared, the interviewer is gonna make you feel more scared. If you're like, feeling that humor inside you, you will get that humor back. Like, for the TCS, I would say, they asked me quite a few questions. Like, my TCS interview was especially easy because I was already placed before that. So they didn't grill me much. They said that, okay, he might be sound technically. Let's get something out of him that's different. What he can bring on the table, the other things that he can bring on the table. So, the interviewer asked me that about Jagadhatri Puja, famous Jagadhatri Puja in Chandanagar. I live near Chandanagar, Bhaddeshwar. Rohan.
Hmm.
So, yeah, those different things. Then he gave me some hypothetical situations, like how would you react to such situations. Uh, I, he asked me that, you're having an interview and you need to, you are having a, say, a special occasion in your house. How will you tackle such situations and all that stuff? You can get this in websites. I'm not repeating this. Loads and loads of there. So I will not repeat those. But yeah, the fact is, the interviewer will reflect your own feelings that's going inside you. So try to get that humor, that fun experience out of that interview. So it will help you. Don't be tensed. Don't be tensed. That's it.
Okay, and if from technical aspects, what will you suggest to your juniors before appearing?
For the interview, right?
Yes.
Look, never bluff in your resume. That will cost you the interview. Never bluff in your resume. You know one language, write one language. You do not know a language, do not write it. But do not bluff in your resume. Like, if you know Java, write I know Java. Simple. Simple. I had my resume. When I prepared my resume, I wrote that one thing, Java. Okay. So study one, I think one or two languages should be more than sufficient to crack the interview. I'm saying to crack the interview. Okay, what I'm saying it now right now is to crack the interview, more than sufficient. But you should have real in-depth knowledge about it, real in-depth knowledge, because unless you have that in-depth knowledge, you will not feel that confident, and unless you're not that confident, you will not get that humor inside you. So hard work leads to humor, kind of stuff.
Okay, Shobik, now just a question which is with this respect to this situation particularly, I think it matters. How do you see a change coming in the technology, especially in the CS field after this Corona pandemic? Because CS is going to play a vital role in this after this post-COVID world.
Yeah. see, technology is actually running our lives in this difficult time. You see, if there weren't any such technologies, life would have come to a standstill. We wouldn't have got cash. Like banks were almost closed for quite a few weeks, I suppose, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So technology is everything, and in the coming future, technology is gonna serve us in a greater way. Like, I would say everything will be driven by technology, and this is not a rocket science. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. So yeah, maybe someday we will get fused with robots,
No,
but it's a distant
it's doing,
future.
and I'm also working on that particular project where a robo will be automatically shifting one thing to other, and it's a four wheeler basically.
See,
But
see.
see,
So I would like to add one thing. You
hmm.
see, I have been seeing Rohan from my childhood days, and what he is doing now. He's first of all, I would like to say you all, Rohan is like a real literature guy. He loves to write. He loves to read. And he's good at it. He's damn good. Plus, he's very good technically also. So he's a multifaceted talent, and whatever he's doing for you all guys, it's like wonderful. So see, again, technology can drive anyone crazy. See, he was actually inclined towards literature, and now he's towards technology also. So that's the power of technology, you see.
Okay, thanks Shovik for this session. I think we will. The last question to you, almost you answered that question already before I ask place the questions. So what is your? Though I will make it that one end in like that way. What
I'm
is
liking the
your
interaction.
yeah? What is your views about this initiation, and what will be your general message to your audience or to your juniors?
Look, there are so many huge interview shows that go on around in YouTube, but what he is doing, he's cherry picking that ground facts that you need to know, right? So you cannot get these ground facts from, say, a CEO of a company.
Yeah.
Like he, people like you, we are like common people. We know what the struggles are. We know that जब फोन हाथ में होता है हमको पढ़ने का मन नहीं करता है, तो लेकिन फिर भी पढ़ना पड़ेगा. That's the message, and he is bringing to you that thing. So obviously keep supporting him, and he's doing a great job, and he's a great guy also, I'll tell you.
Okay, thanks Shovik for this wonderful session with you.
Pleasure is mine. Pleasure is
I
mine.
hope we will have next coming up sessions. We'll get an opportunity to for sharing with sessions with
Sometimes,
you also. Yeah.
sometimes a group session with our school friends. What say?
It is a kind of a reunion type because I am also
Reunion,
seeing
yeah.
after we did the reunion in 2017 when I was in
17.
17. So see, almost 3 years have passed by since I met him. Okay, so it's a kind of union also for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it
So
feels great to reassociate with old folks. It's always great.
and
Always
particularly
great.
discussing these kinds of problems because we are the person at least whom we can sit with him and we can discuss the things because there are lots of things going around us, so at least we'll get up at least 15 to 20 minutes so that we can at least give a relaxed his mind. Okay, I now what the things are in my mind, so I can speak up
Yeah,
frankly.
yeah.
So these are the
Like one thing is also very important. If you don't get selected, don't worry. One of our friends, he was not even selected for the second rounds or the third rounds of the campusing, but now he earns more than almost all of us. So
see.
campusing, don't be so afraid of that campusing thing. It's good. You have to crack it, and even if you don't crack it, don't worry. It's not the end of life. You have to move on. You have to move on. You have to try other stuff.
That's a very very strong word he said. Though you will find it in many interview shows, but in the way he placed is really going to help you.
Yeah, actually,
At
that
least you
guy
can
earns
think
a lot more than all of us. Yeah, actually.
exactly. So see, there are examples, lots of examples around you. You try to pick up those facts, right, and try to
Yeah.
at least implement in your life so that at least you can move smoothly. Okay.
Yes.
So this is the end of the session for today's show. I think
Yep.
we'll meet in our next video very soon. So, and till then, be safe. Please try to maintain all the rules and regulations imposed by the state and central government, because the outside situation is not very good for us, and we will try to overcome as soon as possible. And please follow this show, like and subscribe this channel. And if you have any queries, please reach us through comment section, and we will try to solve you as soon as possible. That's all
Good
for
up,
today.
good.
We'll meet up in the next video.